All right, Hall family, I want to show you what's going on with your boy Hank. Yeah, apologize first off for the lighting on this video. It's getting a little late in the evening, but just kind of ran out of time and the weather's nice, so I wanted to shoot the video. So I'm doing it kind of twilight, and I got a little bit of the light from the shop on us, kind of lighting up the spot so you can get a good look at him. I wanted to show you what we got going on with the next phase of his training. Hey, Hank. Hey, what's this? So first off, Hank's retrieving work is great. Like, I have no concerns about him picking up anything and everything you throw and bringing it to us. That is not a problem. What Hank still needs to continue to work on is we need to keep working on obedience and control. With a dog like Hank, who is he's always going to go. Like, he's always going to have, the desire to go. I don't ever worry about him, not being good to go. We just need to worry about keeping him under control. So that's what we're really trying to do here, is kind of establish better control, um, you know, even at different distances and in different locations. So what I'm going to go over today is I'm going to go over the remote training collar, the e-collar, the shot collar, whatever you want to call it. The purpose of this device is there are things that it does and things it does not do. First and foremost, the e-collar does not teach the dog any new information. He's not magically going to know something new because we put a shot collar on him. What it is designed to do is help us communicate with the dog at a distance. So when Hank is right here beside me, he will do everything that I say. When I've got a leash on him, he'll sit here politely. He'll do whatever I say because he's right here beside me with the leash on, and he knows that. The purpose of the remote collar is to fix the problem of distance. So if Hank is 75 yards away and, smells a rabbit or whatever, he's likely to take off and chase it. And if I say, Hank, here, he's probably going to blow me off and be like, forget you, I'm going after the rabbit. The purpose of the e-collar is so that we understand that if he had a 75-foot long rope attached to him and I said here and pulled on the rope, he would go, oh yeah, I got to come over there. That's right, because I'm still under control. So the purpose of the e-collar is to be that rope that is at a distance and never gets tangled. We don't have to worry about it being, sit down, getting tangled or getting wet. It will always work. This one has up to a mile-long range. Now, people ask me what collar should I get if you want to use it. I always tell them there's lots of great options, and really you get what you pay for with this device. This one that I'm using is a Garmin Tritronics, which is very popular in our industry. Now, what I always do, anytime I put an e-collar on a dog, the first thing that I do is I test it on myself. So I'm going to test it with it vibrating, and there I can feel it vibrate, much like a cell phone vibrator. And then I'm going to turn it up to a level 2, which is, I can't even feel a 1. So I'm going to put it on level 2. There, I barely felt that. I felt that. I felt that. So level 2 has a low, medium, and high range on it. And so I could feel that. Now, I could feel it, but it is not painful. And that is the point of what an e-collar should do. It should be a sensation that they can feel. It should not be pain. You didn't see me go ouch or, flinch. It was simply I could feel it. The best way to describe it is it feels like licking a 9-volt battery. If you've ever licked a battery, it's about what it feels like. You should feel a tingle. You should not feel pain. So when we put the e-collar on, we want it nice and snug. We want it right up by the skull. It usually sits up higher than the regular collar. That way, it stays tight. What we want is we want to make sure that the collar stays up against his skin, so that way we know we have a consistent response when we are using it. It's not quite as big a concern if you're using the vibrate, because obviously vibrate shakes the whole thing. But when you're using electronic stim, the little metal prongs have to touch skin. It does not work if it touches fur. Now, what we're doing with the e-collar is we are trying to help Hank understand that when I say here, it doesn't matter where you are, you still have to come to me. Now, the easiest way to do this is to use classical conditioning, where we're going to teach him to come here on a leash. He already knows how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this on a leash with him and the e-collar at the same time. So the idea is we're going to pull on the leash, say the word here, and apply the electronic stim all at the same time. So we are conditioning, and that's what we use the term e-collar conditioning. We are conditioning him to respond to that electronic stimulus along with the command that he already knows. We're pairing what he knows together. Actually, I'm going to move my camera just a bit to get in the light a little bit better. I think it looks a little better right over there. Okay. So what we're going to do here, Hank and I are going to do the drills we've already done. Now, we're doing this outdoors, so it's a lot more distractions. There's a lot more stuff going on. There's a lot more smells. Hank, being an intact male, is very in tune to smells. He's always checking out where the other dogs peed because he wants to pee on it. That's classic boy dog stuff. He's going to do that. But we need him to understand, look, when it's work time, I need you to focus on me, bud. And we need to be in the zone here. All right. So that's what we're trying to do. And you can see Hank has really sort of got himself in the game here. He's focusing on what we're doing. So I'm just going to do the same drills that he already knows. I'm going to do here and a heel and sit. And we're going to repeat that every time, though, I say the word here. I am going to pull on the leash and apply the electronic stimulation. So we want him to respond to it. And what I'm going to look for a physical response is I want to see him tilt his head, flip his ear, look, something like that that tells me, hey, I felt that. What was that? Right? So we want him to get comfortable with that, that stimulation while he's doing it. Now, I also should clarify that this video is meant to be instructional for later in terms of when do you push buttons on this and when do you not push buttons, because we don't want to apply the stim at the wrong time. Timing is everything. Dog training is like comedy. Timing is everything. All right, Hank. Good boy. That's a good boy. Good. Heel. Hank, here. Good. Heel. Sit. Hey, there he flipped his ear. That's exactly the kind of response that I'm looking for. Very good. And he's looking at me. He's giving me his full focus. That's what I want to see. Good boy. Hank, heel. Good heel. Good boy. Hank, here. Very good. Heel. Sit. Excellent. Good boy. Heel. I should mention this is Hank's very first time using the e-collar. And I love the response that I'm getting out of him. This is very good. See how he's putting his nose down? Here, 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 sit. Good. There, he was starting to sniff something and be distracted. And so what I did is we apply stimulation several times to tell him, hey, 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 I need your attention. Don't look over there. Come back to me. And very quickly, he came right back to me. So we use it that way to help him understand that you're going to be applied pressure in order to get you back to where I want you. And the goal is we want him to respond to us quicker and quicker and quicker. Part of the e-collar conditioning is that it will also speed up their behavior because they're going to try to beat the pressure. So later on, we'll say the word here, and if he responds, we don't apply the stim. But if he doesn't respond, then we'll say here again and apply the stim. So there we're teaching him, if you come on the first one, you're not going to feel the stim. So we're teaching him to beat the pressure. That's a goal of this. All right, let's go. Good boy. Good. Heel. Just walking in circles here. Hank, here. Good boy. Heel. Sit. Good dog. All right. Good boy, Hank. All right. Let's do now. Why are we doing this, Hank? Here. Sit. Because, Hank, we want to teach him to retrieve and come to us. Good boy. Right here, bud. Give. Whoop. I dropped it. So Hank is doing great. He's really starting to put these pieces together. And he's sitting right here. I don't know if you can see him. Here, here, sit. He's like, I'll sit down if you're going to throw it again. Hank, already starting to get steady. So very pleased with Hank. He's coming along great. Good boy, Hank. Right here. Here. Good boy. Good. Give. Good dog. You got a great dog here. We just got to get him polished up a little bit more, but he's off to a great start.